In this report, I'll share the cost to retire in Bari, Italy, including rents, utilities, groceries, restaurants, transportation, and other expenses for low to middle range living costs. If you have deep pockets, the sky is the limit in Italy, but is it still possible on a tighter budget? As I share what we learned on this trip to Italy, I'll show you the video that Chung and I took while our feet were on the ground here. Before I left the United States in 2007, I was going to retire at age 55. The goal was to spend 9 months of each year in the US and travel the world the other 3 months of the year. I was always interested in Italy because of its culture, food, and history. This was my 4th visit to Italy. The previous 3 visits were over a decade ago to Rome, Florence, Pisa, Venice. All were expensive and too touristy. This time I decided to visit one of the cheaper, less known areas of Italy. While traveling south through Eastern Europe, we decided to take a ferry from Albania to the heel of the boot in Italy called Puglia. Puglia is one of the areas in Italy where smaller cities have begun to sell abandoned homes for almost nothing. The ferry landed in Puglia, Italy, in a town called Bari. Bari was colonized by Rome in the 3rd century before Christ. Before that, it was an ancient Greek city. Bari is located in the upper heel of the Italian boot in the Puglia region. Bari is the largest city in this part of Italy and has a large port that receives ferries from commercial shipping. When the Roman Empire fell in 476 AD, Bari became a revolving door of one invading force after another, including the Byzantine Empire and various other city-states for 15 centuries, until it eventually fell back under the control of modern Italy at the end of World War II. Today, Bari is the most important city economically in the mainland southern part of Italy. Bari city proper has a population of about 315,000 people, and the surrounding urban area has about 750,000 people. In this report, I'll share my retirement desirability factors, such as visa, medical, walkability, internet, food, weather, things to do, social considerations, expat community, real estate, and my overall retirement desirability score. But first, I want to share my estimated cost of living converted into US dollars if the two of us move to Bari, Italy, year-round on a tight budget. We will also include more typical expenses that other expats would spend to give you another data point. Okay, estimated cost to retire in Bari, Italy. Rents. I found this furnished studio apartment advertised today for rent for 650 euros, which is $669 at today's conversion rate, per month for a long-term lease agreement in the city center. If you rent for a shorter period of time on Airbnb, it would be much more expensive. If you rent a larger apartment long-term, the rent would be higher, starting around $997 US per month on up, depending upon area and size. Here's the process we use to find great apartments. So we'll show you a table of all expenses in a moment. We'll use $669 per month for our lower rent estimate and $997 per month for the middle cost of living estimate for expats who want a little more space. If you're willing to ride public transportation or a car 30 minutes outside of Central, you could easily save 20 to 30% on rents. Okay, utilities. We estimate that the year-round average for our utilities would be about $92 US per month. The utilities would cost more for the larger space, starting at around $125 per month US. Groceries. When possible, we would purchase fruits and vegetables from the farmers market, small shops, and street vendors to save money, but we would also shop in grocery stores for non-perishable foods and other things like shampoo and detergents. We estimate about $400 per month for groceries. Other expats are likely to shop more often in expensive grocery stores, often spending more like $500 per month on groceries. Restaurants. We would eat out twice per week, mostly in more local-style restaurants, a few blocks back from the tourist areas, for about 13 to 16 US per meal per person, and 1 or 2 splurges per month of about 22 to 28 US per person per meal. If you add all that up, we would spend about $340 per month in restaurants. We may have a beer here and there, but that is covered below under alcohol. Other expats are likely to eat more often at expensive expat-style restaurants and less in local-style restaurants, so they would spend more like $480 per month for 2 people in restaurants. It is lifestyle dependent. Okay, cell phone data. The cost to get a prepaid SIM card for your unlocked smartphone is about 26 US per month. Other expat couples are likely to buy 2 prepaid SIM cards, so they would spend about 52 US dollars per month. Okay, laundry. Our apartment in Bari had no washing machine, so we found a laundry that would wash and dry our clothes and fold them for 10 euros per load. We would need about 4 loads per month, which would be about 40 euros, which is about 42 US dollars per month. Or we could buy a clothes washing machine, because at $42 per month, the washing machine would pay for itself pretty quickly. Okay, drinking water. We didn't see reverse osmosis delivery in 20-liter jugs, so we would probably get a Brita water filter for the refrigerator. The filter refills would be about $5 per month. Actually, we've been traveling with the same Brita water filter as we head south through Europe. Okay, internet. 80 megabits per second up and down is about 26 US dollars for in-home Wi-Fi. Transportation. Bari has the local public transportation monthly pass, or AMTAB, which is for buses that run all over the city for $34 per month per person, or $68 per month for a couple. We walked everywhere because we were exploring Bari Central, where we would live if we moved here. But we also explored other cities in Puglia, which we traveled by train. The costs for those trains are covered in the do-it-yourself tours we discuss below. Okay, alcohol, which is optional, of course. Domestic beer in the Lidl grocery store in Bari is 0.69 euros for a half liter. That works out to be about 55 US cents for a standard size can of beer, about the size sold in the USA. In bars and restaurants, domestic beer ranges from around 3 to 6 US, so we estimate about $120 per month on alcohol for the 2 of us. Many other expats would spend a higher amount for imported foreign or craft beers in convenience stores, bars, and restaurants, so we estimate about $300 per month for 2 people, assuming they do not drink imported whiskey or wine. Entertainment, which is optional, of course. We would budget about $200 per month for entertainment for the 2 of us. We generally enjoy doing more do-it-yourself kinds of entertainment, so other expats would spend a little more, maybe $300 per month for the 2 of them. Okay, let's add it all up. Estimated cost to retire in Bari, Italy, and this is in US dollars. I'll start with the lower and then talk about middle range. Rent, $669. Utilities, $92. Groceries, $400. $340 for restaurants, $26 for cell data. Laundry at $42. Drinking water at $5. Internet at $26. And transportation at $68 per month. All that adds up to $1,668 for your basic living costs. And if you add optional alcohol of $120, you would be at $1,788. Add the optional entertainment at $200 per month, it would put you at $1,988 per month for your basic living costs plus alcohol and entertainment. For the middle range living costs, rent $997, utilities $127, groceries $500, $480 for restaurants, $52 for cell data, $42 for laundry, $5 for drinking water, $26 for internet, and $68 for public transportation. that would add up to $2,295 per month. Add $300 for alcohol, it would put you at $2,595 per month. $300 for entertainment would sum to $2,895 per month. We gathered this data with our feet on the ground here in August of 2024, so adjust for inflation after that. The above lower estimated cost of living would be if the two of us lived in Bari on a tight budget. The middle estimate is just an example of what more typical expats might spend here if they moved here and lived in the middle range living costs. To understand what it would cost you to live here, you must put your feet on the ground, see how you would choose to live, eat, and entertain yourself, and add it all up. It doesn't matter what anyone else spends because we are all different. So what would it cost you to live in Bari, Italy? To get a better understanding of things that you should add to our estimated cost of living, watch this video, 9 reasons you can't retire on so little overseas. Most people will likely be unable to retire for the lower range estimate above. I give example reasons why in this report. Plus, this other report explains how to avoid coming home early with your tail between your legs. Also, if you're going to try to retire cheap offshore, make sure to read my report, The 2 Biggest Risks of Retiring Early for Cheap Offshore, which explains why you should have emergency funds available for unexpectedly large expenses. You should also add anything to the above table that you spend money on in your home country that's not listed in the above table. Presumably, you find those things necessary in life. To do that, visit the Numbeo Bari link provided and add anything not mentioned in the above table. Anything not on Numbeo, you should add during your exploratory visit before moving to Bari. Never move anywhere until you have first visited personally to verify the living costs for your lifestyle needs. I'm not guaranteeing these prices. These are just my notes and estimates from the time of my visit and this post. Your costs will likely be drastically different depending on your lifestyle and the time since this post. Many of the expats we meet living overseas are self-insured for medical. That means that not everyone buys health insurance when they move overseas. That probably sounds crazy to you. I didn't carry medical insurance for most of my first 17 years living overseas. But last year, I bought medical insurance. If you're wondering what it costs and what it covers, watch my medical insurance video at this link. This is not an affiliate link. More typical expat living costs in Bari, Italy range from about $2,500 to $5,000 US per month. But people spending that much often have higher savings, incomes, or pensions. They often report spending more on accommodations, entertainment, eating out more, traveling, and alcohol. Many also have more expensive cars, houses, or apartments. Okay, Bari, Italy, livability factors. If you click the first link in the notes below this YouTube video, you will find a report that includes everything I've already covered, plus our livability factors, which include walkability, internet, food, weather, things to do, social considerations, safety considerations, expat community, medical, tourist visa, residency visa, real estate costs and suggestions, and our Bari, Italy overall retirement desirability score, plus our Bari, Italy Old Town Walking Tour, our Bello Italy and Poliano Beach Day Tour, our Monopoly Day Trip and Old Town Walking Tour, where we stayed in Bari, how we got to Bari, Italy, and all of the restaurants and services we used during our stay in Bari, Italy. Please click the link to the video in the upper right-hand corner of your screen to see our top 15 places in the entire world to retire cheap in paradise in 2025. If you like my free ebook about how I fired my boss and traveled the world for 17 years and how I pay for things, come to Vagabond Buddha and grab the free ebook.